Since the disputed elections in Belarus 2 weeks ago, the international spotlight has inevitably been on embattled President Alexander Lukashenko and his challenger Sviatlana Tsikhanouskaya, who claims she won the vote. But Belarus also has a government in exile, set up after the newly independent state of Belarus was absorbed into the Soviet Union more than 100 years ago, which makes it the oldest exiled government in the world. And its current president is 84-year-old Ivonka Survilla, who lives in Canada.
We are continuing the very first government in exile, which had to flee Belarus in 1919, and who has been active in Prague until 1943. Then the next one has been active in Paris, the next one in Canada, then the States, and I am the sixth president in exile, and I live in Canada. So we continue the job, we continue the work of the very first Rada, which means parliament, and the government in exile.
When you say you continue the work, what is that work?
That means that our main goal has been for these 100 years we have existed to obtain independence and freedom for Belarus in a democratic society. These are the ideals of the 25th, which we call the ideal of the 25th of March 1918, when the Belarusian Democratic Republic was proclaimed, and which existed for less than 1 year before the arrival of Russian army.
Haven't you got an independent Belarus now?
Not really. It is, look what is happening in Belarus right now. If it were independent, you wouldn't have all these poor people being beaten up by the army. I mean, we have a dictator in Belarus who is not better than what we had before the independence.
So can I take it then that you support Sviatlana Tsikhanouskaya?
Of course. She is the person without whom the present movement would not have happened. She is a wonderful person, and all her goals are our goals at this point.
I just wonder whether you'd been in touch with Mrs. Tsikhanouskaya.
No, we haven't been in touch. I think that she may prefer not to be helped by people outside Belarus because of the accusations by Lukashenko that the whole thing is led by foreign countries. So we are here, we are ready to help when she asks us to help.
I mean, in a video she released yesterday, Sviatlana Tsikhanouskaya referred to Constanti Kalinovsky.
Kastus Kalinowsky. Yeah.
Who was he, and why is he such an important figure in the history of Belarus?
He is the first fighter who showed the way to a Belarus which was oppressed by the Tsarist regime. He was the first fighter who fought for a free Belarus. And that happened during the revolution of 1863. He has been caught, hung, and he was killed together with his co-fighters. And last year, his tomb has been found. And the Belarusians from all over Belarus and myself came to Vilna to bury him at the cemetery in Vilna. And it has been one of my most happy days to be in Vilna to honor him.
Explain why the protesters have been carrying a different flag to the official one endorsed by President Lukashenko.
Because the white flag was the old flag of Belarus, which was adopted in 1918 by the new Belarusian Democratic Republic as their flag. And right now, as you see, the young people who are on the streets are people born during Lukashenko's dictatorship. And they all come out with these Belarusian white flags. And so does Mrs. Tsikhanouskaya, because this is the real Belarusian flag. The other one, the green and red, is just the Soviet flag, which has been reimposed by Lukashenko.
If the movement to oust President Lukashenko is successful, would you imagine that the Belarus government in exile would then dissolve itself?
Yes, I will tell you something more, that our greatest hope and wish is to be able to give our mandate back to a free and democratic government in Belarus, with the assurance that Belarus would stay independent. That's our conditions. We can't wait to give our mandate back to Belarus. The problem is that Russia is a danger for us as long as they want to incorporate us into their federation empire, I would say.
So you also foresee a free and independent Belarus that is what, a member of the European Union, a member of NATO?
Yes, absolutely. Maybe not right away because of the problems it would cause with Russia. At one point, when Belarus, before the arrival of Lukashenko, Belarus had proclaimed its neutrality. They wanted to be a country without any foreign or any kind of allegiance to any foreign country. And I think at that point, several countries, Lithuania and Belarus and Ukraine, who wanted to avoid any kind of wars. But it's impossible with Russia at our side.
That was Ivonka, the president of the Belarus government in exile, speaking to us from Canada. And it is, of course, the oldest government in exile in the world.